Are DIYers liars? That's what I'm gonna put to the test today. I'm an avid DIYer myself, and at the end of the day, when I finish a project, sometimes I think I spend more on the DIY option than if I would have just bought it at the store. I've had this fluted DIY table that I wanna make in my head for a while, so I'm gonna take you along for the journey and add up my total and see if I actually save money building my own furniture. I have some items on hand, but I'm running to the store to grab what I need. I'm going to be keeping a running total of everything that I'm using, even if I already have it bought, once we get back to my garage. The first thing I need for this project is one of these concrete forms. There is a 8-inch one and a 12-inch one. The 8-inch one is a lot cheaper. Okay, I pulled the 8-inch one down and it's looking a little bigger than I thought it was gonna look. I'm gonna put a tabletop on top of here, so I'm gonna walk over to the section that I know has those tabletops and see how good it looks on top of here. I don't like that. I think I want a bigger base, so I'm gonna go back over and grab the 12-inch, even though it's $11 more expensive. Okay, that looks a lot better. I don't have it on there straight, let me see. Yes, I'm liking the way that looks a lot better. Do you see the vision yet? Okay, I'm gonna dig through these pre-made circles and see if I can find one with less knots. Okay, this was the best one I found, so I'm gonna go with that. Lucky for me, I have some leftover pole wrap at home that I've used on other projects. You can order it online through Home Depot, and I think that's gonna be the easiest, most affordable way for me to get a fluted look on my base. I grabbed a few more items, and now I'm ready to head back to my garage to get to work. I've got all my materials and I'm ready to start my side table. I'm gonna be totaling up each product I use as I go along, so keep track with me and we'll see if this DIY is gonna be worth it in the end. The first thing I need to do is cut this concrete form to size. I want my table to be 2 feet high, so I'm gonna mark this off and get it cut. Okay, I just figured out a better way to do this and I want to share it with you. I have my tape measure set at 24 inches. Check the base of your tape measure because it'll tell you how high that is. Mine's 3 inches, so I just have 21 inches set on my tape. And I'm gonna just wrap this around here and keep moving it. And that way I'm gonna have a straight line, 2 feet all the way around. I've got my line all the way around and it actually met together, so I think it's even all the way around. Now I gotta figure out how to cut it. Definitely think the best way to cut this would be with one of my power saws, but I'm trying to keep this as budget friendly for you, so I'm gonna put some muscle into it and use a regular handsaw. I'm pretty surprised how level this looks. I'm gonna put the tabletop on here and just make sure I don't have to trim any excess off to make it level. My tube is all cut to size, it's level, so now I'm gonna add the fluting and I'm gonna do that using pole wrap. This is designed to wrap around basement poles and give them a decorative look. If you live in places that basements are common, you're gonna find this inside the store at Home Depot, but it's really easy to get online. That's how I get mine because we don't have basements in Tennessee. It comes 48 inches tall or 96 inches tall. I have this left over from another project, so it's already cut down to size. I typically cut mine with my miter saw, but if you were trying to keep this budget friendly, you can get a miter box and use that same hand saw that we used earlier to cut this down to size. Now we're gonna do a little math. Do you guys remember pi? And you thought, oh, when am I ever gonna have to use pi? We're gonna use it today because we wanna find out the circumference all the way around this tube. Since the tube is 12 inches in diameter, we are going to multiply that by 3.14, and that's gonna give us the circumference all the way around. Pole wrap comes in 12-inch width, 16-inch width, and then the largest is 48 inches, so that's what you would need for this project. This pole wrap has an oak veneer, so it's gonna be really easy to stain. If you were gonna paint your table, it also comes in an MDF version that is more affordable. The easiest way to cut this is by using a utility knife on the back side. I've just marked off where I need to cut, and I'm going in between the slats. Doing this the DIY way, so I'm gonna save myself a lot of glue and time, and I'm not gonna adhere this to the tube. I'm just gonna use the tube as my guide to make a shape. There is a little bit of a gap around. I didn't wanna cut one of these slats in half. I just thought that would look messy. And there is a gap at the top, but you're not gonna see that when I put the top on. So what I'm gonna do is use some construction adhesive and just attach it to where the seam is. I'm gonna set this off to the side, let it dry, and start working on the top. While this pine top is cut and ready to go, which makes it easy, it is not prepped for stain. It is still really, really rough. So I'm gonna use some sandpaper to smooth it out and prepare it for stain. The order that you wanna go when you're sanding this is start with a 80, then go up to 120, and then finish it off with a 150 or a 180. Now that my top is all sanded, I'm ready to add it to my base. I'm gonna take some more of that construction adhesive and put it on here and then add the top on. That was a fail. That did not work the way I wanted to. So I'm gonna try wood glue. I put some weights on this to let it dry overnight, and it's actually holding really well. The pole wrap has an oak veneer that has a lot of these little splinters in between the flutes, so I'm taking a fine sanding pad and getting rid of all those. All right, everything is sanded and prepped and ready to stain, but the problem is these are two different woods. This top is pine, which pulls really yellow when you put stain on it, and then the bottom is oak, which stains actually really beautifully in my opinion. So I've worked a little concoction together to do the top and the base. They're gonna be the same color in the end, but it's gonna be a different process. This is gonna be my first time trying this bare wood stain. This is water-based, so it's gonna have easy cleanup and easy application. I got the color Whitewash Pickling. This is not going to make this white. This is not a paint. It's just gonna tone down a little bit of that yellow undertone and give it a beautiful natural look. The first thing I'm gonna do is take this pre-stain conditioner. This is water-based, that's very important because I'm using water-based stains today. And I'm gonna put this down on the surface of the top since it's pine. It is going to help the stain be less blotchy and adhere really nicely. Once the conditioner was applied, I just take a shop towel and wipe back any of the excess, and now I need to wait 20 minutes before I can apply the stain. While the top is drying for that 20 minutes, I'm gonna apply the stain to the base. Now I'm not putting the wood conditioner on the base because I find that oak doesn't really need a wood conditioner. It is a nice hard wood and it absorbs the stain evenly. I'm applying the stain with a foam brush and then I wipe it back with a clean rag. The longer you wait before you wipe it back, the deeper the color is gonna be. I wanted a pretty light wash of color here, so I'm wiping it back almost immediately. My timer just went off, so I'm gonna stop doing the base so I can go ahead and put the stain on the top. You don't wanna let this sit longer than 30 minutes when you have that pre-conditioner on. It just won't work as well. So while I'm in this sweet spot, I'm gonna apply the white stain to the top. I wanted a lot of this color to penetrate because of the yellow undertone of pine, so I let it set a lot longer, about 10 minutes, and now I'm wiping off the excess in the direction of the grain. Now I'm going to hop back over to the base and finish this up. Now that this is dry, you can tell that the top is lighter than the base, again, because we have two different woods. We have pine, we have oak. So what I'm gonna do is I've grabbed a tan water-based stain that I have, and I'm gonna add a wash of that color to the top to get it to match more of this oak look. This is another type of a water-based stain. If you don't have that, you could also use a chalk paint and just water it down a bit. Okay, I'm so happy how this dried. The color is looking very similar. I'm excited about that. Now I need to seal it up. I'm gonna use a water-based polyurethane, and why that is important is because an oil-based one is gonna amber or yellow your finish a little bit, and I want this to be as close as to what we have here, so using a water-based finish is going to achieve that. I'm applying this top coat with a foam brush. This is really forgiving over a light color like this. You just don't want to back brush it a lot, so just get it on and do long strokes to even it out. Once this was dry, I'm going to add a second coat on the top for extra protection. I'm using a fine sanding pad just to smooth everything out, removing that dust with a tack cloth, and then I'm going to apply that second coat. I let this dry overnight. Let's take it into my space and go over all the numbers. If I total everything up that I used like I had to buy it brand new, it would have been $287 to finish this end table. And if I factor in the whole roll of pole wrap that you would have to buy, it would actually be $351. Which is pretty ridiculous because you could buy a similar table on Walmart, on Wayfair, and even on Amazon from anywhere to $100 to $250. But this is how my DIY brain works. I had a lot of these materials on hand, so if I do my out-of-pocket cost that I spent over the past 2 days making this, it was only $67. Now let's revisit the question I had at the beginning of this video. Are DIYers liars? In this case, 100%. I am a liar. I spent way much more money on this than something I could just buy at the store that would be affordable. This is sturdy. It's like in good condition, don't get me wrong, but this is not high quality furniture. This is a DIY. Sometimes I save a lot of money on doing a project by myself, and sometimes when I get to the end of it, I have spent way more on it than I could have just buying something. But DIYing is not all about saving money. It's about working with my hands, trying to create something, getting an idea out of my head and seeing if I can bring it to life. And as all DIYers know, as we build our skills, as we build our tool arsenal and we buy materials and stain, we always have tons of leftover for the next project. So if you're a DIYer, I hope this video encourages you to just keep doing your thing. And if you think, oh, that's way too much work, way too much money, it's okay to just buy things as well. If you liked today's video, I would love it if you subscribe before you leave so you'll get notifications about my other videos. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I want to hear you sound off in the comments. Are you a DIYer or are you just gonna buy your home decor? Either way, I love you and you are welcome here on my channel. Thanks for being here, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.